Welcome to Global CEO Magazine, the channel that brings you the brightest minds in business. So today we are going to explore the industries of hospitality and retail. We have with us the CEO of LAUGFS Leisure Limited, LAUGFS Retail, LAUGFS Salt and Chemicals, and LAUGFS Restaurants. So we have Mr. Niroshan De Silva with us. Thank you for joining us here today, sir. Welcome to Global CEO Magazine. So since we have quite a few areas to touch on, let me dive right into the first question. So in the past few years, Sri Lanka faced a lot of disruptions with the pandemic and with the economic crisis. So what strategies did you really implement in your organization to make sure that your organization didn't really fall victim to the disruptions that we experienced?
Thank you, and I thank you for the Global CEO Forum for inviting me. Challenges in its own interpretation requires great amount of focus, and as challenges grow, you have to enable strategies that will help you come out from challenges. Like you said, the pandemic aftermath, not only that, the global inflationary pressure kind of gave the entire businesses challenges that appeared to be beyond solutions. But as we progressed, being the CEO of retail and leisure companies, it was absolutely imperative that we come up with very focused strategies to ensure that we not resurrect. And of course, the shift in consumer behavior demanded us to have a clear strategic focus. One of the key strategies I implemented with my team was to ensure that there is transparent communication. And through transparent communication, everyone in the team, starting from the team member to senior manager, understood that where we are and what challenges we go through and how do we overcome, finally to get to our destination of where we want to be. The second most important strategy that I've used is that to stay focused on the agility. Today, in a demanding leisure and retail environment, customer needs and wants has to be fulfilled with much more accuracy and ensuring that all the customer needs become beyond the traditional business strategies, something to be very flexible, something that have the adaptability and adjustability to ensure that we are in a position to not only overcome but exceed customer satisfaction. The third, one of the most important strategies, empowering leadership. I work very closely with our team members and leadership teams to empower them and understand they have the autonomy and the way forward for each and every problem that they come through in order to ensure that such problems are handled with due care and delivery. Finally, I place a lot of emphasis on long-term thinking. Businesses, while the short-term challenges will demand delivery and can be intense, it is also critical that we have a long-term thinking strategy to ensure that what we set has a longer longevity in order to deliver outstanding performance. These are the challenges that we came through during difficult time to navigate our business successfully. As they say, we don't grow without challenges. We only grow when there is challenges, because we come out with innovative ideas and solutions that will enable us to maybe deliver something that we never thought we would, but end up delivering an outstanding performance. For both the properties of the LAUGFS Leisure plus LAUGFS Retail, we have managed to deliver great results through a team commitment and team working strategy.
So since you spoke about a few wonderful strategies that you have implemented, and also you mentioned that it's important that we come up with different innovations to keep up with the challenges. So that really brings me to the next question that I'd like to ask you. So your industry, when it comes to especially LAUGFS Leisure Limited, the hospitality industry, that is, it's very fast paced, it's ever changing. So every day you come up, you get to face a new challenge. So it's really important that you be creative and innovative to keep up with these challenges and the different things that come up in the industry every day. So I'd like to ask you, what are some innovations or maybe changes that you have made in your organization to keep up with these market challenges?
That's an excellent question. I come from a hospitality background where I started my career being a student at Ceylon Hotel School, and I had the passion to understand the industry. It's one of those fascinating industries. While we work on the traditional market for leisure sector, which is the Far East to Europe and Eastern Europe, there is a new trend of growing in our Asia Pacific region. It provides us enormous amount of possibilities to work with the region where 50% of the entire e-commerce happens within the Asia Pacific region. And also there is exponential growth in terms of e-commerce year on year. About 5% of entire consumption growth has been also significant in the region. And as you know, we have 62% of the entire global population is in Asia Pacific. With all that, it presents us the great opportunity for us to explore these markets. And of course, such growth rationale, we need to incorporate the digital transformation, because today the traveler is completely scheduled with. Therefore, the digital transformation of our customer engagement becomes very important. In recognizing that, we enhanced our online digital platforms to ensure that we provide all accessories which is required to enable a smooth customer transaction. In addition to that, our dynamic business model also takes care of the pricing strategy, where we are in a position to adjust the customer pricing then and there. As a result, the decision-making process is becoming much more faster and easier, so that we can close transactions without having to follow up and delay. We also have the tailored experience packages, such as wellness packages, eco-friendly solutions for those travelers who have now become increasingly aware and demanding such facilities that align with emerging customer preferences. These are the strategic, innovative ideas we have got into, while it is every day evolving, and we need to have the adaptability to provide such innovative ideas to capture the full potential of our customers, our travelers. So these are the things we have practiced during the last challenging times and as of today.
So it's very important that an organization has proper leadership, especially during these challenging, these demanding times. So an organization could have the best strategies, the best innovations, but if there is no proper leadership to guide the team, to maintain the stability of the organization, then I think the organization would collapse. So what I'd like to ask you is, what are some key leadership qualities that you think a leader should have when they are navigating these very challenging times or these ever-changing sectors in the industry?
I think one of the key advantages you as a leader have is that your career experience will enable you to understand where we are and what kind of solution that you need to provide when situation demands. I have started my career as a trainee waiter. Through that, was in a position to understand each of these departments and their sentiments. It is very important in challenging environment, you have the sense of belongingness with your team members, empowering them and entrusting them with a lot of trust, with empathy, will allow them to have a clear understanding about who you are and how much you care about them when situation demands. It is an integral part of the business strategy and the culture, where you continue to focus on looking after people because people at the end of the day is what provides the everlasting solutions, or something that customers talk about. Product can support to a great extent, but people capabilities and people sensitization, it is absolutely critical and vital in any management. I would say that that was one of those key success factors where I managed to ensure that everyone understand in my team that it is a team game, and it is something that you achieve at the end of the day with being together and understanding the business requirement and making sure that you deliver an outstanding delivery in terms of exceeding customer satisfaction. What we need to also ensure as leaders is that a lot of time and energy has to be invested on creating a very cohesive culture where everybody happy to come to work and engage with your task that you assign to them, and at the end of the day they get rewarded and recognized as you progress with your success. You have to clearly define their duties and responsibilities and create a clear path in terms of where they are, where they can become. Through that, there has to be certain amount of conscious training strategies, people development strategies, so that they are very clear about their progress. Through that, they understand they are heard, valued and supported. One of the other key communication that I personally believe in is that every action you got to have decisiveness. Clear defined strategies will have to have clear way forward plans that will allow them to deliver clear results. One of the other key attribute is resilience. As you understand working with team members that there are multiple challenges they go through, it is your duty to formulate solutions and demonstrate them duly so that they very clearly get a understanding as to what kind of expectation you have. So like I said, leadership is something that you can keep on understanding, learning day by day. It is evolving. Today there are greater leaders who has come out with amazing solutions for some of the compelling issues where employees go through, and leadership is something that you can never stop learning and become a greater leader as you progress. Therefore, the visionary thinking of you as a leader and reassurance that you provide to your team members clearly give them the kind of comfort, sense of belongingness to stay closer to you and to contribute to your company. I believe as a leader, and I practice and I work to communicate these principles in order to ensure that team members are given a very special care and concern and guidance to grow them as you grow with your company.
So recently, there were quite a few changes happening in Sri Lanka. So we actually turned into a new chapter, and there's a lot of hope and a lot of expectations about the future. So how do you really see the business environment of Sri Lanka evolving in the next 5 years?
Next 5 years of our industry is going to be creating a greater milestones. However, technological advancement, sustainable practices will become very critical. With globalization, with digitalization, things are becoming far more dynamic than what it was before. Therefore, it is important to have solution which is provided with AI technology, digital technology, and solutions which are faster and easier for our travelers to take decisions. And adding to that, it is also important that you give destination tourism solutions. Today, a traveler will not just come to stay in the room. They would like to explore the possibilities of understanding what kind of a culture, what kind of a society, what kind of a business orientation we have. One of the advantage we have with our country being an amazingly beautiful country, we have so much stories to tell, which has to be one of those key success drivers in order to retain and regain your traveler back to your country. Apart from that, the government policies, procedures, and infrastructure development will definitely help us provide and create customer solutions. Having a beautiful country, having a distinctively different tourism attractions, it is important that we create a tourism oriented culture in our country. I would like to propose that it is prudent that if we can have tourism embedded in our school curriculum, a student that understands tourism will be able to come through and become a better tourist agent or a hotelier or a manager, as opposed to discovering it later stage in their career. Countries like Thailand have a great emphasis on ensuring that the nation has a natural form of customer-oriented behavior or guest-oriented behavior. Imagine with the ambitions that we have towards tourism, if we can have a very cultured, nurtured, trained and developed youth coming into the industry for the next 5 years, that will enable a very talented group of youngsters, managers and leaders to look after this industry with great amount of care and knowledge and conviction. With that, if we can also institutionalize some of the policies, some of the practices of creating an outstanding destination. Sri Lanka have got amazing amount of beauty that some of the nations can't even imagine, and that too can be provided within a very short space of time. What we understand today is that slow tourism is something that we need to progress, where a traveler will come and stay more than 15 days in our hotels, keep traveling to one destination another, understand and discovering our beautiful country. Therefore, the companies that invest on training and development has the agility to understand customer needs in terms of today and future, and ensuring that the education system will provide them the keen guidance to create a solid foundation will enable us to have a formidable future. So the critical success factor, what I foresee, is that people and technology. While the aesthetic beauties of Sri Lankan hotels will remain to be a key component, it is also important to have investments going into technology and people development.
So speaking about the global context, you spoke about Thailand. So Thailand is also a very beautiful country, and we have Malaysia, Indonesia, so many countries that you could say massive competitors in terms of the hospitality industry. So speaking about this global context, what I'd like to ask you is, how do you plan to stay competitive in the global context while managing the different opportunities and the different challenges you get globally and locally?
To understand this question, it is also important to understand where we are today. Sri Lanka is a 65,610 square kilometer country. We have around the country, we have sea, we have got rich cultural heritage, and something that we can brag about and communicate and demonstrate. For us to understand the countries that you talk about, it is, like I said earlier, it is important to understand what kind of orientation we have in order to nurture our local strengths, to leverage on our local capabilities, define the local ambition statement towards globalization. Once we define and come up with a local focus strategy which is aligned to deliver an outstanding global solution, we have got the right attributes to deliver what customers want. There will be people who will continue to demand destination solutions, multiple customer requirements, multiple package requirements will have to be solved in order to attract them or win them over such countries like Thailand, Malaysia, for that matter Maldives. We as a tourism nation need to also ensure that our pricing strategy becomes very clear in terms of demonstrating a value for money destination with solutions which are much greater than what others offer. Therefore, at LAUGFS Leisure in particular, we have demonstrated locally inspired solutions using our 16-acre property for each of these properties. By using our pristine beach, we are using our dynamic beach and the static beautiful lagoons and the garden areas and wellness solutions to ensure that when a traveler comes into our properties, receives something that they have never thought of they would. Sri Lanka need to provide an outstanding array of solutions where we discover their demand and deliver in order to make them go with not only the feeling of home away from home, but a destination they are glad they visited and they keep coming back and they keep coming back for more. And finally, adapting global trends without ignoring them. It is our duty to keep adjacent to the global trends and provide solutions timely in order to gain confidence of each of these travelers who comes to Sri Lanka with expectations and who we end up delivering them with greater satisfaction.
So as a leader of the retail, leisure, food and beverage industry, I'd like to ask you one final question before we wrap things up. What are your thoughts on Sri Lanka, especially in terms of these industries?
Sri Lanka is positioned to provide amazing solutions to all requirements of our travelers. We have got amazing solution in terms of our hotels, our restaurants, our bars, our cafes. So it is important for us to collaborate the entire solution, rather set of solutions to ensure that all these solutions will come up as a one-stop shop to provide our customers a very distinctive flavor which is uniquely Sri Lankan and uniquely ours, so that our competitors across the world will not be able to provide such collaborative approaches. I am confident and extremely confident that as Sri Lanka foresee a greater future, our industry will continue to grow. Our retail industry, which is today amounting to 18% of total retail, when I put that alongside modern trade and general trade, is year on year there's a growth happening. Overall business sentiments are very positive. Everyone is gearing up and raring to go to ensure that our country become even more dynamic and place to be, place to visit, and to return home with happiness.
So Sri Lanka has a lot of potential in different industries. So I think it is up to us to tap into this potential and really drive progress in Sri Lanka. So that is what we are doing here at Global CEO Magazine. That is why we want to bring to you the experience, the journeys of the visionary leaders across different industries here in Sri Lanka. So that brings us to the end of yet another fantastic conversation here at Global CEO Magazine. So it was a pleasure having Mr. Niroshan De Silva here with us to sit down and have a conversation with. Thank you for joining us here today, sir. It was a pleasure having you here.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for making progress with Global CEO Magazine, and I wish the magazine all the very best and success.
So we would like to wish you all the very best too.
Thank you.
And we will see you again in the next episode. Thank you for watching.